Hello everyone, let's start our first lecture of Module 4. Today we will learn about seed structure and the function of cannabis. The cannabis seeds that many people know are not the seeds but fruits. This is because the fruit skin is dry and hard and is attached to the seed, so it's mistaken for the seed coat. Botanically, this type of fruit is called a kin. Now we are more familiar with the new term akin in cannabis fruits. In other words, they are tiny nuts within shells or hulls that are developed on the female flowers of the cannabis plant. The cannabis seed is particularly nutritious and it has been an important food source. Let's see the image of this slide. Good mature fruit will be hard and dark or brown with spots. Depending on the cultivar size will vary. Indica strains tend to produce large seeds with stripes, but sativa seeds tend to be smaller with little markings on the seed casing. This pattern of color and the stripes are mainly determined by the outermost layer of the fruit wall, exocarp. This slide shows the structure of a cannabis fruit at the germinating stage. The cannabis fruit is enclosed by green floral bract, which is characterized by its hairs and glandular trichomes. An acorn is one-seeded dry fruit. The fruit does not split open when ripe, but opens when germinates. Acorn is a type of dry fruit that doesn't split at maturity, and the wall is definitely dry and hard at maturity. Seed is enveloped in its own coats. Its inner coat is a seed coat, testa, and the outer envelope is a pericarp. The acorn consists of a single seed that is attached to the wall of the ovary at its base. Thus, the husk or pericarp is relatively easily separated from the seed. Cannabis embryo of seeds have two cotyledons and their shape is U-shaped as shown in number B of this slide. Scanning electron micrographs of cross-sectioned cannabis fruit showing two cotyledons, hypocotyl and endosperm of a seed. The red line marks the boundary of a seed. Scanning electron micrograph of a cross-section cannabis seed showing two cotyledons and endosperm. Cotyledon is composed of two distinctive layers, isodiametric cell layer and the palisade cell layer. Cotyledons consist of palisade cells and isodiametric cells. These cells contain both protein bodies and oil bodies as storage materials. You can distinguish that the size of a protein body and oil bodies is the larger one is the protein body and the smaller is oil bodies. And the right photos showing that is the histochemical staining as the protein bodies, you can see that, and the bottom photos is the reveal that the numerous bigger and the smaller oil bodies, the stained with the strand 3. Cannabis seeds contain 25% protein, 30% lipids, 25% carbohydrates, and 5% minerals. Particularly, cannabis seed oil contains all the essential fatty acid to maintain healthy human life. This oil includes linoleic acid, alpha-linolenic acid, and oleic acid. Additionally, seeds store fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin E and vitamin A. Hemp fruit is enveloped with the pericarp. You can see the outermost exocarp and the mesocarp together in this scanning electron microscopical image. This slide shows the outermost zone of the pericarp called the exocarp, which is a layer of sclerenchymatous cells. These cells are sinuous in outline as seen in surface view. Their radial walls are slightly thickened in some regions. Exocarp consists of a thin membranous skin, has characteristically thickened radial cell walls. This slide shows the outermost zone of the pericarp called exocarp, which is a layer of sclerenchymatous cells. These cells are sinus in outline as seen in surface view. Their radial walls are slightly thickened in some regions. Exocarp consists of a thin membranous skin as characteristically thickened radial cell wall. This scanning electron micrograph of a longitudinal section of the pericarp is shown. The embryo was removed from the whole fruit. The pericarp is composed of 3 layers. As you can see here, the exocarp is very thin, the mesocarp is thicker, but the endocarp is severely thick. They are collectively called the pericarp. Cannabis fruit contains a single seed encased in a pericarp or a fruit husk. Additionally, there is another innermost thin layer, seed coat, which directly surrounds the seed. This SEM micrograph is another shot of the pericarp of the fruit, which is comprised of 3 distinct regions. The outermost zone is exocarp. It is a layer of sclerenchymatous cells. The second zone is the mesocarp, which consists of different types of cells. The innermost zone of the pericarp is the endocarp, composing conspicuous palisade cells. The outer and radial walls of the palisade cells are so thickened that the lumen is reduced. There are many cavities extended from intercentral spaces. Following fertilization, the ovule develops into a seed, with the integuments developing into its seed coat. So you can see that a thin seed coat. The seed coat consists of 2 layers. Specifically, the outer layer is comprised of tube cells, which are distinct features owing to their elongated form and extended intercellular spaces like a net. There are 3 types of cannabis seeds. First, natural seeds are produced male and female plants, and It requires 11-hour light and 13-hour dark for flowering. Second, the feminized seed produce 99% female plants, and they require 20-hour light and 20 hours dark for flowering. Lastly, auto flowering seeds are not influenced the photoperiod due to the ruderalis genes. They have a short growing period, such as 70 to 110 days. Finally, if you want to purchase some seeds, you must obtain a certification of analysis from the seed suppliers. This is an example of a COA obtained from a cannabis seed supplier. And as an important administrative procedure, if you want to grow cannabis, you must obtain a permit from your state government. In Colorado State, hemp cultivation requires registration and, if necessary, a license too. A cultivation plan and the harvest schedule must be submitted to the Colorado Department of Agriculture before 30 days. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Thank you. Bye. See you next time.